Hey, how's it going? Josh here from Manga with Josh, and this is episode 12 of Manga with Josh. I promise you guys a banger. Here we go. I was born in 1989 in December, and I'm about to talk about something that came out before me. I'm talking about something that first got serialization back on October 11th, 1989. So it's older than me by 2 months. I'm talking about Hajime no Ippo. What is Hajime no Ippo? It's a boxing manga. That's it. No, seriously, it's written and illustrated by George Morikawa, and it's one of the longest running manga series in histories, and a defining sports series in the medium of sports. So it is boxing in Japan, and it talks about Makunouchi Ippo, who starts off as a high schooler who gets bullied by people in school, and he sees a guy training at a tree. He hits a tree and he throws jabs and he catches leaves. So that guy's Takamura, who's a Japanese ranker, boxer, and Ippo follows him and asks him to train him. So Takamura gives him a task to catch the leaf. And that begins his journey into boxing. So he goes through high school, he starts training, he gets his boxing license, he doesn't go to college, he helps out on his family's fishing boat to make ends meet, and he wants to be a boxer. So he goes in, joins a Rookie King tournament, everything like that. And throughout the series, you get to see him actually go and grow as a character and become stronger. I'm not going to spoil it yet, but let's talk numbers. So, as of recording this episode on February 2nd, there's about 1,500 chapters, about 1,512 right now that are serialized that came out. 1,512, let that sink in. There's a total of 145 volumes. The last volume that was released January 16th of this year, 2026. And let's talk about worldwide sales. Over 100 million copies sold. That is insane. It's a high-selling series. So you're going to say, hey, Josh, you're talking numbers here. You like talking numbers. Say, oh, it sold this much. You told us about Rave, about GTO, all this thing. How come I've never heard of this? Why isn't there an anime? And I laugh in your face because guess what? There's an anime. The first season, season 1, is called Hajime no Ippo, The Fighting. It ran from October 4th, 2000 to March 27th, 2002. 76 episodes. That's insane. And because I've been talking and I didn't even spell it out, in case you want to search it, it's in the title of this episode. But it's Hajime for Hajime, no, N-O, and then Ippo, I-P-P-O. So that's season 1, as I said. Josh, why is they have different names? Why didn't you just say Hajime no Ippo, The Fighting season 1, 2, and 3? Here's the thing. They're all different animation styles because they're done in different eras. So season 1, The Fighting, came out in 2000 to 2002. Season 2 is Hajime no Ippo, New Challenger. And that ran from January 6, 2009 to July 30th, 2009. There's 26 episodes. So, like I said, different time, 7 years. But they brought it back. And I already spoiled it and said there's 3 seasons. Season 3 is called Hajime no Ippo Rising. And this came out back in October 5th, 2013 to March 29th, 2014. 25 episodes. And this is where I'll say there's talks about season 4. Listen, if season 4 comes out, I will be ecstatic. And by the way, I'm not saying I had anything to do with this, but all I'm saying is I record that episode about Kenichi, right? History's mightiest disciple, history's strongest disciple, Kenichi. By the way, If you check that out, guess what? There's a spin-off coming out. A continuation. It was just announced. That's the power Manga with Josh has. We bring back series. Watching a month or two, they announced season 4 of Hajime no Ippo. That's because of us. But let's get back to it. Anime specials. It has 2 anime specials, a TV film and an OVA. Champion Road, that TV film came out in April 18th, 2003. And then Mashiba versus Kimura is an OVA, which came out September 5th, 2003. So it was hot. And now let's talk about the reception. What awards has it won? Winner of the 15th Kodansha Manga Award 1991. Received special award at the 43 Kodansha Manga Awards in 2019. Just because it is that goated. The anime and manga are widely praised for realistic boxing choreography, character growth, and emotional storytelling. What does that tell you? If they say, yo, this is realistic, that's insane. You know, they're not doing anything crazy or anything like that that would look fake just because they want to amp it up. And let's talk about legacy. It is often cited as one of the greatest sports manga of all time. It influenced so much, and there's a culture around this. I remember when my friend Hector told me about this manga. It was about 2009, and I blew through those chapters so quick. The mangaka has been doing this for a long time. His health hasn't been good, and right now the chapters are a lot slower. There's less happening in them, but it is at a plot point that is one of the most amazing plot points that I've seen, because it has my favorite character in the entire series fighting for a world championship. And no, it's not the main character here. And that's what I'm about to get to in the spoiler section. So if you don't want any spoilers on plot points, this is where I'm bound letting you bow out, because I'm about to give spoilers. So my CTA for this is my call to action. Stay tuned for the next one. I'm going to bring up something in the next one that you never heard of. I don't care who you are, because it has 20 chapters as of right now. It's that great that I'm putting everybody onto it, and you guys are lucky that I'm going to put you on to that in the next episode. So bow out, and now spoilers. If you stayed here, you want to know the plot, you're stuck with it. So the main guy, Ippo, he's a featherweight. And he goes, like I said, you get to see him grow. You get to see him become the rookie king. What is the rookie king? Well, it's the king of the rookies. But here's the thing. There's an East king and a West king. A Tokyo king and an Osaka king. Exactly. So there's a unification battle. And that's where my man's Sendo comes out. And so you have that to become the rookie king, and whoever wins that becomes a ranker in Japan. So they can fight for the belt. So you got to be in the top 10, move up to you're the number 1 contender, you know? So Ippo goes through all this stuff, becomes a ranker, gets to challenge for the belt, everything like that. And even though this manga has been going on for 37 years, I know it's not 37 fully yet, it's 36 in a few months, but even though it's been going on so long, it's still in the same time period. There's no time skip. There's nothing like that. It's not like One Piece. After Marineford, we skipped. No. It's literally paced out perfectly. You get to see them training. You get to see all of the fighters bonding. Like, in ways you would never see. Like, there's a running gag about what Ippo's packing under his trunks. And it's hilarious. You get to meet these lovable characters who each have their own character arc. Like I said, there's no time skip. You're not boxing in these big matches every single week. No. You're fighting an opponent, and then your next fight's in like 5-6 months. So what's going to happen there? There's no time skip. Guess what? you're training, you're recovering from your fight. And then guess what? Your boy over here, Takamura, who's literally the GOAT in this whole series. He's stronger than my boy Sendo, that's okay. But Takamura goes, he's fighting for this belt, he's fighting for that, you know? So you get to see Takamura go out for his next title belt fight. You get to see the coach training Ippo, teaching him certain things, a new style. Take a look at his opponent, things like that, because the Rookie King I mentioned is a gauntlet, basically. It's a tournament. So those, because it's newer fighters, rookies, those fights are closer pace, but after that it becomes longer pace. And you get to see Kimura, Aokiji, I mean, everybody. There's so many characters and you get to see them. You get to get romance. You get the whole spectrum and everybody fights different. Everybody has their own struggles, their own training regimen. Ippo has a bunch of rivals. You get to see them interact with him. You get to see their fights. You get to see Miyada's fight, his arc, where he goes out the country and goes for a different belt altogether. You get to see that journey. You get to see Mashiba and his journey. There's so many characters and it just works so well. And honestly, I mentioned this before about many episodes back about things that get updated and I run to read them. And this is still one of it, even though it's slowed down with the chapters and there's not as many panels. It's just right now there's a world title fight going on with literally the boss of bosses for that weight class. And if you like boxing, this is a must read. This is a must watch as well. What I would recommend, there's a lot of chapters. Watch the anime and then look up where the anime drops off so you can know what chapter to pick up on. I personally prefer reading it. I've watched the anime multiple times and I'm not a big anime watcher, but I've read the manga a lot. And that's it for this episode of Manga with Josh. Like I said, I brought that banger that you need to stop what you're doing and go catch up on it. It's been out for 36 years, and that tells you something. And stay tuned, because like I said, next episode, I'm bringing you something you never even heard of. Catch you guys in the that one.